Come on now, fellas! We've got to answer the bell. Now let's go! Welcome in. Main Street Sports Today is presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao and Maurice Patton here on this Monday as we have a ton of exciting stuff to get to today. We're going to turn the lights on so we can see.
Be light.
Let there be light indeed. Mo, what's going on, man?
Not much. It's Monday.
It is Monday.
Yeah, pretty good weekend. I'm kind of looking forward to some of the stuff we're going to be talking about today because, one, we actually get to talk about a Titans win.
Yeah, when they play at home, they do good things. It's clearly because all of the players are very worried that if they don't play well, the guy sitting in the stands wearing the jersey named Justin might take their spot.
Undrafted free agent over here.
There you go.
That is clearly what the problem is, or the solution. I guess.
I don't know what the deal is, but I mean,
I still think he could block better than Andre Dillard.
It's amazing though what happens when your offensive line gives you time.
It's remarkable, and yet as much time as they gave him, and as well as they blocked for Derrick Henry, Andre Dillard still had a terrible game. I mean, so I'm at this point,
I'm not in a mood to kick on Andre today.
Listen. Here's what I'm. It doesn't matter at this point because two offensive linemen are coming back like this week. So
I wonder if which defensive player gave him some pointers. He can just build up all this advice that he's getting. Dillard.
You're right. I mean, you know what? That was something that really kind of went under the radar last week. But when a defensive player is telling you what they're doing to beat you, you must be really bad.
Yeah, like not worried about
how bad are you when Myles Garrett says, dude, check this out.
Like I'm embarrassing you so bad that I need to.
I need you to be better.
This wasn't even fun.
Good.
Yeah, this wasn't even any fun.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like when Larry would tell you what he was fixing to do and then do it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh, man.
When a guy is telling you, if you do this, then I can't do this.
Yeah. And yet comes back the next week and still struggles at times.
Well, because it wasn't Myles Garrett.
Because it wasn't
Myles
Myles
Garrett.
Garrett.
Been better against Myles Garrett. Yeah.
Well, we get a chance this week, right? Don't they play the Browns again?
Oh God! Seriously.
I hope not. Really?
I don't. I literally don't know, but it's wow. No, it's the Colts. I'm sorry, they're not.
Oh.
We're off this week. So
the Titans are off this week.
Yeah,
Already?
No, I'm sorry. It is the Colts. I can't count.
Dude.
It's the Colts. It's the 8th. The Colts on the 8th. They're off in 2 weeks before the Falcons. What a great show we have lined up. Let me tell you what we've got going on. We're going to talk a lot of Titans today. We'll get to all of this later. We are going to talk about Southeastern Conference. A lot of wild stuff happened in the SEC this weekend. And it's only going to make this week that much more fun. We're going to talk about the rest of college football, plenty to get into in the world of college football, as well as the NFL. So a lot of quarterback questions, by the way, good and bad in the NFL. So I'm interested to get into that. So plenty of great stuff to get into. We're going to do it very quickly. So let's go ahead and get you the weekend results and today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
The Monday rundown is brought to you by Zion Christian Academy, and I can't read the rest of the read because Chris, you've got something in front of it.
I have nothing. What?
There we go. ZCA offers a faith-based, Christ-centered education in Murray County. Give them a call today at 931-388-5831 or visit zioneagles.org to schedule your appointment today. Zion Christian Academy, prepared for college, equipped for purpose.
Football action from Friday. Mount Juliet 31, Antioch 14, Pope Prep 34-33 winners over BGA. Blackman down Pure Academy 35-12, and Clearwater Academy 34-25 winner over Brentwood Academy 1-2. Centennial Blank Skins with 62-0, Hickman County 22, Cheatham County 6, Ensworth 42-2 over Christian Heritage, Georgia. Clarksville Blanks Northwest 55-0. It was Kenwood 46, Northeast 6. Clay County a 25-6 winner over Joe Burns. Rockville 31, Clay County 7. Columbia Central in overtime defeats Spring Hill 20-17. It was Columbia Academy 38, Clarksville Academy 7. Ezo Harding an 11-7 winner over the Kings Academy. Fairview 34, Montgomery Central 20. Memphis University School with a big win over Father Ryan 28-24. Brentwood a 31-17 winner over Franklin. Franklin Road Academy 34-19 against Davidson Academy. Cookville 26, Gallatin 23. Nashville Christian edges Goodpasture 31-30, and Grace Franklin blanks Mount Juliet Christian 47-0. It was Green Hill 35, Warren County 0. Stratford in a shootout over Hunters Lane 47-40. Independence blanks John Overton 35-0. Lancaster Christian 42. Southwest Christian Academy of Arkansas 8. Lebanon 41, Wilson Central 6. Lewis County a 26-7 winner over Harpeth. Liberty Creek a 47-23 winner over Kirkwood, and Lipscomb falls to Christian Brothers of Missouri 48-21.
2-5 Lipscomb. Also, it was Sycamore 48, Maplewood 28. Marshall County with a 41-0 win over Creekwood. Montgomery Bell Academy defeats Knoxville Catholic 17-12. It was Laverne 27, McGavock 12. Mount Pleasant with a 90-yard kickoff return from Darian Meza defeats Donaldson Christian 37-29.
How do they not see the film? Anyway,
I asked this question and I got a bit of an explanation. We can talk about it on or off air. Nolensville defeats Hillsborough 20-16. Page with a 50-0 win over Lawson. Pearl Cone 49, Whites Creek 0. It was Henry County defeating Portland 45-13. Friendship Christian with a 41-3 win over Providence Christian. Ravenwood defeated Summit 24-7. It was Brighton 48, Republic 6. Collinwood with a 20-13 win over Richland. Rossview 28, Dixon County 6. Smyrna with a 17-14 win over East Nashville. South Pittsburgh defeats Middle Tennessee Christian 18-6. Excuse me. Hendersonville 21, Springfield 7, Eagleville with a 31-9 win over Tennessee Heat. Tullahoma defeats Lawrence County 41-6. It was Giles County 50, Watertown 34. Giles County 50. Waverly 35, Summertown 0. Christ Presbyterian Academy with a 51-0 win over the Webb School. East Robertson edges Westmoreland 13-12. Station Camp 1-5. Station Camp now 2-5 after defeating 5-1. Now 5-2, White House 21-15, and Greenbrier with a 27-15 win over White House Heritage.
Volleyball action over the weekend. Oakland down Blackman 3-0, as did Warren County over Laverne and Oakland over Siegel. Blackman was a 3-2 winner over Riverdale, and Siegel defeated Rockville. Same score there. White County 3-1 over Smyrna. Stewart's Creek 3, Warren County 1, and Lebanon 3, Stewart's Creek 3. That looks like a district tournament. I don't think it was, but it is certainly the teams certainly look like they would be.
It does.
Girls soccer action. DCA blanks John Overton 9-0. It was Hillsborough 6, Independence Academy 0. STEM Academy 7, Kenwood 0. White House Heritage defeated Greenbrier 4-1 on Saturday. Sycamore down to Cheatham County in what I can only assume is a rivalry, 5-1.
Major League Baseball action over the weekend. The Braves dropped 2 of 3 to the Nationals, falling 10-6 on Friday. They're winning 5-3 on Saturday and dropping a 10-9 decision in 10 in the season finale, leaving the Braves with only 104 victories on the year and home field throughout the postseason. As far as they go.
How do you lose 2 to 3 of the night? I mean, golly.
Because you don't care. Marlins took 2 of 3 from the Pirates, winning 4-3 on Friday, 7-3 on Saturday, falling 3-0 on Sunday, but securing a wild card berth into the National League postseason. Congrats to the Marlins. Puts them in better shape than the Cubs, who dropped 2 of 3 to the Brewers, falling 4-3 on Friday, winning 10-6 on Saturday in a meaningless game because they've been eliminated by them.
And we'll pause now for a montage of highlights from the Brewers Cubs series.
Can we get a montage, please, JK?
I wish I'd had one. That would have been so good, Dan. Yes.
The Brewers put the Cubs officially out of their misery with a 4-0 victory yesterday. I wish the Brewers had run the Ronald Acuna montage.
God,
that's what should have happened. Anyway, Cardinals take 2 of 3 from the Reds, bouncing from a 19. Cincinnati won 19-2 on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals came back, won 15-6 on Saturday and 4-3 yesterday. And the Astros swept the Diamondbacks to win the AL West.
Wow. How wild.
Congratulations to Wade Neely. 2-1 on Friday, 1-0 on Saturday, 8-1 on Sunday. But the Diamondbacks are also in because the Cubs are out.
That's right. College football action. Tennessee down South Carolina 41-20 in the Super Bowl. Missouri, a 38-21 winner over Vanderbilt. Austin Peay down Lindenwood 52-10. And UT Martin doubled up Tennessee State, but the Tigers did cover 20-10 the final there. Campbellsville 34, Cumberland 16.
Hashtag priorities, right?
Better than the Chiefs, who did not cover last night.
But won.
People are very angry about it.
It's all Taylor Swift's fault.
It's all Patrick Mahomes' fault for sliding before the goal line. They were 8.5-point favorites. They're up by 3. He slides to end the game. Yeah, you want to talk about Matt? People are angry.
As Scott Van Pelt would say, that's a bad beat.
That's a bad beat.
Yeah.
In NFL action, the Titans defeat the Bengals 27-3. WNBA, we have the finals, and it's exactly what we thought. The Liberty did defeat the Sun on Friday, 92-81. The Aces advanced with a 64-61 win, winning 3 straight in the conference finals, and the Liberty ended the Connecticut Sun season 87-84 on Sunday.
That was Dallas that the Aces beat.
You would have thought that on Sunday that would have been the Sun day, but it was not the Sun's day.
It was not the Sun's day.
No.
Yeah.
And in MLS play, the Nashville Soccer Club makes the playoffs. For the 6th consecutive year, they've never missed the playoffs as a professional team with a 0-0 draw with Seattle.
0-0. Zip, zip.
Zip, zip.
Volleyball today. Some of these are postseason matchups. Joe Burns is at Smith County. Davidson Academy is at Providence Christian. Friendship Christian is at Middle Tennessee Christian. Grace Christian of Franklin is at Good Pasture. Clarksville Northeast plays Kirkwood at Clarksville. And Zion Christian is at FC Boyd Senior Christian. That's a 6 o'clock start. The others, we have no idea what time they start. District 8 AA play at Murfreesboro Central. It's Giles County and Marshall County at 6. The winner plays Murfreesboro Central at 7. In District 10A at Mount Pleasant Middle School.
What's the deal there? Okay.
Summertown plays Perry County at 5. Lewis County plays Collinwood at 6. And the host, Mount Pleasant team, plays Hampshire at 7. And in District 11 AAA at Liberty Creek, it's Macon County and Greenbrier at 4:30. Whites Creek and White House at 6:30. And Republic and White House Heritage at 8:30.
Giving you plenty of time between matches to warm up, because volleyball is the warming up sport I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a sport where they warm up as much as volleyball. But
have you played?
I mean, I was an assistant coach my sophomore year and
there's a lot
every tournament.
There's a lot that you could pull in volleyball. So
sure,
you want to be good
but
and
it
loose.
just blows my mind. No, right after a match, they'll go over there and start hitting the ball, and I'm like, "We just played. Let's go." Trying to get out of here. It's 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. Anyway, girls soccer action. Cornersville's at Loretto at 5. At 6, it's Cannon County hosting Middle Tennessee Christian. Columbia Academy is at Friendship Christian. Gallatin hosting Nolensville. Good Pasture home against Greenbrier. Cannon County is not at Watertown at 6, or maybe they are. Middle Tennessee Christian's not at Cannon County, but if MTCS goes to Cannon County and Cannon County is at Watertown, that's going to be fun to watch.
Ain't going to be nobody.
Culleoka's at Columbia Central at 7, and Giles County's at Page at 7. NFL tonight, Monday Night Football at 7:15 on ABC. The Seahawks are at the Giants, and that, folks, is your rundown.
Schedule subject to change without prior notice.
No kidding. I mean, you get what you get around here. Top story brought to you by our friends at Piggly Wiggly. Got a couple things we want to mention really quick. Number one, Joe Williams, friend of the show, tweeted this morning, I guess, that Franklin High School and Alex Melton have parted ways. Melton.
As football coach, I don't understand. I mean, I'm not sure what this does for his teaching position, but there's an article on the website at williamsonherald.com. Alex Melton was relieved of his duties Monday morning by Principal Shane Pantal. Former coach and current assistant Donnie Webb will take over the 0-7 Admirals with 3 regular season games remaining.
Thing is, man, you don't realize it, but Franklin was in every game. They just,
including a 31-17 loss that we just read in the rundown to undefeated Brentwood.
They were right there. I mean, they were about to get over that hump, and I don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if they were going to get over the hump or not. But one, I don't know how you fire a guy after just losing a region game to an undefeated team by 2 touchdowns. I mean, Franklin played Brentwood probably as close as anybody has this season. I don't have the scores right in front of me.
I mean, yeah, let's see. Brentwood Academy lost by 3. Henry County lost by 3. But everybody else, 38-14, 43-6, 20-0, 38-0, 31-17.
Yeah. I mean, and everybody that I've talked to.
Double overtime lost to Independence.
Everybody that I've talked to about Franklin football under Alex Melton has said they're playing hard. Again, you mentioned double overtime loss to Independence, lost to Nolensville by,
and we're up 23, 11. And maybe that's maybe that's part of it, but clearly they were up 23-7 or 23-10 at halftime
on Nolensville.
of Nolens against Nolensville. Lost 13-7 to Independence, and they were right there in that one.
And you look at this schedule, Centennial, Franklin Road Academy, Page, Independence, Nolensville, Summit, and Brentwood. Now, go look at this week's Main Street Preps top 25.
Hold on.
Because the only team on Franklin's schedule that isn't in it is Summit.
Hold on. I'm 30-5. Now you get to Summit, and that's where things change. But outside of Summit, the combined record of teams that they have played is 37-5. 39-10 if you include Summit.
Alex is a great guy and a good coach, Pantal said. I just feel like we need to make a move now to get a win before the end of the year. Sometimes in this position, you have to make decisions that you don't want to personally, but they have to be made.
And here's what's going to happen. They're going to lose the next two ball games because Ravenwood and Mount Juliet are very good football teams. They're going to beat John Overton, and everybody's going to think it's because Alex Melton isn't the coach. People who don't know football are going to think it's because Alex Melton's the coach or not the coach. That's what's going to happen.
I hate this for so many reasons. And one, I don't like mid-season firings at the high school level.
It doesn't make sense.
At the high school level. I regret that I can't finish with these kids, Milton said. There's something about these kids. The records don't have anything to do with it. When you come to Franklin on Friday night, the stands are packed. The student section is packed. This team is fun to watch. If you haven't been to a game, I suggest you check out these boys. You will be impressed, I promise you. Forget the scores, forget the results. These kids are fighters. They never quit and represent Franklin so well. Franklin was tied with Brentwood late in the third. It's 17.
It appears to me to be a depth issue. That's what it looks like, just based off of what I've seen watching scores throughout the night. Watching Charles Pulliam and Joe and all those guys who are tweeting Franklin scores throughout the night. Franklin is right there in the first half through the third quarter, and then things just kind of fall off because they're much like Independence, and that's probably why they went to double overtime. They're playing a lot of guys both ways. All of their best players have to play 48 minutes, and that's hard to do.
Franklin has led or been tied in the second half of 6 of their 7 games.
I mean,
not sure. I guess Franklin Road Academy is probably the exception.
Probably.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, 47-21. But Franklin Road Academy is really dadgum good, which we have discussed on this show.
And here's the thing. I've known Shane Pantal for 40, 45 years. A lot of respect for him. Don't like this move. And I'll go so far as to say, I'm not quite sure that this was Shane's idea. Strictly speculation on my part. But it's pretty out of character for him.
If there's anybody in this room who would have a feel for Franklin and the way that things work there, it would be you.
Class of 82.
So I'm going to defer to you on that one.
Hall of Famer.
I'm just saying
I know.
All right, Devontae.
There we go. Did you see that catch he made?
He's so good.
Yeah.
Gosh, he's so good. The fact that the Eagles have what they have just blows me away. But this is unfortunate because, look, it's no secret. Mo and I covered Summit on both of their all 3 of their state championship game runs, including that state championship in 2020. Was it 20 or 20? Yeah, it was 20.
Yeah.
And,
And Melton was defensive coordinator.
He was the defensive coordinator there. And on the other side of my job in the news department, I work very closely with Becca, his wife, and have a lot of respect for him and his family and love the guy dearly. And he's a good football coach. A really good football coach. and he's going to have to answer some tough questions in future interviews about this tenure.
I don't know that he will, though.
Well, I think it just depends on where he wants to go. If he has to go outside of Williamson County, which he probably won't.
But if people understand the situation there,
well, that's the question he's going to have to
be
ask.
as hard.
That's the question he's going to have to answer. Why? What happened? And it's going to be tough to answer. And mainly because he respects his kids. But the fact is that this is one of the toughest regions in all of high school football, period. They play one of the toughest schedules. If you find me another schedule that has a combined record of 39-10,
please let us know.
Please let me know. And tell me what that school's record is against them. Please and thank you. Yeah. So, and it doesn't get any easier. Ravenwood and Mount Juliet are 6-1 and
7-0.
7-0. Yeah. Everybody on their schedule outside of Summit and Independence are either 6-0 or 7-1. It's insane.
And the good thing is Donnie Webb knows what he's getting into.
Has been on the staff, has been in the school, in the building. He knows.
So, good luck to him over this next 3 games, and I'll be interested to see what happens after that.
You and me both. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we've got Monday Mirror MON-STARS and SEC football right after this. Stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well-rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Like it, Justin. That's phenomenal. Big fan. Big fan of the MON-STARS here. It is time to hand out some hardware. It is time. Well, stickers, hardware, whatever. To mention some of the biggest players of the week in all of sports. So we'll start, and I'll go ahead and go first today because, well, let's just say this kid lit it up. Cornersville senior running back Ben Franklin ran for 365 yards and 7 touchdowns.
Lit it up. Nice.
If I'll send you a story that I wrote 2 years ago with the most ridiculous paragraph of puns I've ever put together in my life, and it is phenomenal.
I was going to say, we love that.
It is nothing. It's an entire paragraph of nothing but puns. And
Awesome.
so I'll let you read it. But yes, 7 touchdowns, 365 yards, 45-42. The Bulldogs win over Cannon County. He also had 3 sacks on defense and is the program's all-time single season rushing record holder.
He's committed somewhere, right? Is it FIU or
FAU
or something?
I think it's
like
FIU.
that?
I'm pretty sure it's
Gonna go play for Mike McIntyre, huh?
which I guess makes sense. Let's see. He is Navy. My
bad.
July. He must have switched his commit because he was committed to FIU, I believe, at one time. But yep, he got the Navy offer and is
Good for him.
yeah. All right.
Navy has done a pretty good job around here.
They really have.
Over the past, 10 years or more, probably. So, yeah, that's awesome. Am I next?
You go ahead.
My first MON-STAR is from a game that you covered, Chris, as Columbia Academy freshman Zane Nash rushed for 185 yards and 2 touchdowns on 21 carries in the absence of 1,000-yard rusher Monte Baldwin as the Bulldogs won 38-7 against Clarksville Academy.
I called him Noah after the game when I was talking to Seth. I was like, I said,
And Seth had no idea who you were talking about.
he was like, who is Noah? And I was like, Zane. And he said Nash. And I was like, I had the first letter and the last letter right. Give me a break. I didn't know who he was. I've never heard of him before. And he was like,
well, the thing is, he's been playing defense
Yeah.
as well, but yeah.
He's not gotten a whole lot of carries because of 1,000-yard rusher Monte Baldwin, but he certainly took advantage of his opportunity on Friday night. Yeah. Justin.
I'm going to go with Christian Fulton because
Thought you was about to take my next one.
because I kind of ragged on him last week when they played the Browns. So I'll be honest, whatever that coaching staff did or whoever turned the Titans around into the best team ever assembled is shout out to them. But yeah, Christian Fulton held Jamar Chase to 2 receptions and like 33 yards. So got to give him his flowers.
Raleigh can smell them.
Well, I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah. He's a dog.
No doubt. Had 20 carries, 106 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 catches, 71 yards, and a touchdown in the win for San Francisco over the Cardinals.
They're scary. They're a scary team.
Yeah. They certainly are. That they are.
Because I keep waiting for Brock Purdy not to be good, and he's just good
And
and
he's
crazy.
It really is. It really is crazy. And I'll tell you, I mean, I don't think Trey Lance is not good. I just think Trey Lance needed more time than he was going to get in San Francisco. I don't think we've heard the last of Trey Lance, but I say that to say this. San Francisco has done a great job of identifying quality quarterbacks that a lot of folks were behind on.
And obviously Trey Lance now being in Dallas makes a difference, I think. But it's what I think is interesting about that to me is, Trey Lance probably needed more time, and had this not been the 49ers window and Brock Purdy actually fitting it, he probably gets that time. But it just, unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time for Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And then the opposite for Brock Purdy. He's making under $1 million this year in contract.
It's
crazy.
insane. He's making basically a rookie deal minimum.
He says he's got a roommate.
It's irrelevant.
Hilarious. Which is,
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Is he the best player in college football? I don't know. But Georgia All-American tight end Brock Bowers, 8 catches for 157 yards. Let's not short him, including the 40-yard game winner at Jordan Hare, excuse me, as Georgia won 27-20 Saturday. Caught passes of 37 and 28 yards to help set up a go-ahead field goal. Then had catches of 16 and 40 yards on the game-winning drive, the latter being the game-winning touchdown. I mean,
has a tight end ever gotten that?
The Heisman?
I don't know that a tight end ever has gotten it. I don't know that a tight end ever will get it, but
I mean, like that amount of yards in a game.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been some really good tight ends, but
That's crazy.
This guy, he should be in the NFL already for one thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my second MON-STAR. Who next?
JK?
I'm gonna go another NFL player. He is on my fantasy team, but I'm objective here. Stephon Diggs. I've always liked him, so even when he was in Minnesota, even though he's on the Bills, he went off. Got like I was my phone. I got updates, and it was halftime, and he had gotten 3 touchdowns. And it's crazy to me when people go off in the first half like that, thinking that there's a whole nother half of football.
It's a bit ridiculous at times.
It is. It really is. Like, how?
I'm going to go with my final MON-STAR. Had a much better weekend than his brother, Talia Tungavailoa. Completed 70.5% of his passes for 352 yards, 5 touchdowns as the Terrapins moved to 5-0 despite not being ranked. He is the first Maryland quarterback to ever reach 9,000 passing yards in his career.
Oh, wow. There's been some decent quarterbacks come through Maryland, haven't there? Didn't Frank Reich play at Maryland?
Yeah. Wouldn't have thought about that, but yeah.
Who else?
I don't know. Very, very Boomer Esiason.
Okay. Yeah.
Boomer Esiason, Frank Reich, Neil O'Donnell.
Like I said, and some pretty decent quarterbacks have come through Maryland.
Danny O'Brien, remember him from a couple years ago?
Yeah.
He was solid. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Is it to me?
Your final MON-STAR?
My final MON-STAR is a name that area professional football fans will be familiar with. A.J. Brown, 9 catches, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns as Philadelphia defeated Washington 34-31 yesterday.
Just ripped my heart out.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
He is so good.
Yeah. Justin?
My final one is a guy that I root for. I like him. I guess a lot of people are on the fence, or you're either one way or the other, but Baker Mayfield throwing for 3 tutties. And just keeping the Tampa Bay Buccaneers good. Like, how about it? I feel like they just gave him the starting job, like, because it was by default. and now it's kind of like Brock Purdy, I guess, but he's killing it.
Yeah, that's one of the conversation pieces that we'll save for the NFL reaction segment.
Mhm.
But yeah, absolutely. So, all right, there's our MON-STARS. Let's talk a little bit about Tennessee and Vanderbilt, and we'll move the rest of the SEC to later in the show. Tennessee gets a big win over South Carolina. Despite my BVS, I never felt like the game was – I never felt like Tennessee was going to lose, but there was always – I never felt comfortable. It was not one of those – the game was never in doubt. It was, I don't feel like the game is in doubt, but I'm not going to give myself the ability to relax until I know it's in hand.
Until it's 0-0.
And so, but that being said, a fantastic performance by the defensive front seven. Cade Mays makes all the difference in the world, I think. I mean, the way, or is it Cooper?
It's Cooper.
Sorry. Cade, long gone. Cooper Mays makes all the difference in the world in the middle. And it showed far more in the run game, I think, than necessarily in the passing game. But a really, really solid performance by the offense, even despite 2 interceptions from Joe Milton. I don't know what for
one of those interceptions, that one where he was trying to throw back shoulder to Jacob Warren. If he had thrown that out in front, that's 6.
Well, if he was trying to throw back shoulder, it was poor location in 2 regards. I think he just underthrew it in fear of overthrowing it and being overthrow Joe.
And that could be.
And I think I think the Squirrel White throw was a back shoulder throw. And it was well done. Should have been a penalty. Neither here nor there. The first interception, as you heard on the broadcast, I mean, Jordan Rodgers said, look, it's not really on him. That he did exactly what you're taught to do. You're taught to read the boundary safety, and just so happened that they were in cover 3 and you couldn't see it ahead of time. Mm-hmm. And he threw it, trying to look somebody off instead of staring down the receiver. He missed the safety. And that happens.
Yep.
That happens a lot in college football.
Going back to your offensive line comment, Tennessee rushed for 238 yards on 40 carries.
That's incredible.
Jalen Wright had 123 on 16 with a score. Jabari Small had 59 on 11 carries with a score. And Dylan Sampson had 49 on 9 carries with a score. Sampson averaged 5.4 yards per carry. Small averaged 5.4 yards per carry. Wright averaged 7.7 yards per carry.
Yeah, Jalen.
You'll take that.
Yeah, Jalen Wright's legit.
So
and I think,
I think Small and Sampson are legit.
Well, he was obviously Wright was aided by the really long touchdown run to start the game, but and his yards per carry. But if you can get 5 yards out of your running backs every time they touch it, that's going to win you a lot of football games.
And they don't do that without superior play up front.
Exactly. And just a really good job by that offensive line all night long. Obviously, the defensive line did exactly what they were supposed to do. They came into the game as the sack leaders in the SEC against the offensive line who had given up the most sacks in the SEC, and it was very clear that Tennessee had an advantage in the front seven. And on top of everything else, they played really well in the secondary. Of course, it's a lot easier to do that when you know your guys are going to get pressure.
Complementary football.
And look, if that's all you can do. That's all you can ask for. Big turning point, I think, was the pick 6 at the end of the half. And what Shane Beamer was thinking, I'll never know. Why are you throwing the football there? Why? Force Tennessee to take a timeout, punt the ball away. Instead, that happens. And let's just say that Mr. Haddon felt really good going into the checkerboards after the pre-game introductions.
He has caught a lot of flack from the UT fan base for a long time. And so,
Well, since last year's South Carolina game.
so from that standpoint, like you said, that had to feel really good for him.
Yeah. And, you know, Kamari Haddon plays really well most of the time. The problem that I have with Kamari Haddon is when he's not playing well, he's still talking trash. And I'm like, listen, man, you got to understand you can't.
I don't know though, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's something you can turn off and turn on. And at least he's not a hypocrite. He's not a
There you go.
front runner. He's going to talk his talk.
He's going to talk it.
He's going to talk his talk, whether it's 50-0.
But
Either way, he's going to talk his talk. So I mean,
but that's the problem that I'm going to have, because look, if you're struggling,
maybe you should shut up. I mean, I get
well,
it. But
just focus internally.
Mhm.
Stop worrying about everything else. Fix what's wrong, what's going on with you. Then talk. Don't let it compound, and and then eventually you get frustrated because you're not playing well. You're talking trash.
And
They're
you're
talking
trying
to
to
you, and now
back
you
it
got
up.
15 yards.
Yeah. 6 sacks for the UT defense.
You'll take it. Vanderbilt, I thought played well. I think Missouri just played better. Ken Seals had a pretty solid game.
I didn't get to see any of that game. I was out on the baseball field.
I will say this. It really, to me, Ken Seals' performance proved that sometimes it's worth sticking it out, because you get that opportunity. And I'm not saying that Ken couldn't have played somewhere else, but he got an opportunity to to take his team out on the field. Went 20 of 31, 2 touchdowns, had an interception.
259 yards.
But considering that the team, as a team, they ran the ball for 41 yards. 41.
That's tough. It's tough to win.
Really difficult to throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it. But they've got to find somebody.
Well, and now, I mean, the question, you got a quarterback controversy, right? Or do you not?
I would hope so.
Or do you not?
Well, here's the thing. If you're going to lose young. A lot of folks will tell you that, including myself and then you. If you know you're going to lose, you might as well lose young and let AJ Swan just work it.
Here's the
work it
thing,
out.
though. Here's the thing, though. At Vanderbilt, I don't know that you can concede to losing. I think you almost have to go. I think you have to break that rule at Vanderbilt and go with whoever gives you the best
chance to win that day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, 99 times out of 100, I will tell you if you're going to lose young. I've used it on more than one occasion. This might be
Vanderbilt,
the exception.
Vanderbilt really makes a difference there. So I thought, obviously Missouri got up really big in this one and probably took their foot off the gas. But as a whole, I felt like Vanderbilt played well. They didn't make a lot of mistakes. Missouri was just better. And that's what you expect out of a top 25 team that's undefeated. So
Vanderbilt only turned it over once, the one
interception.
Seals pick. So you've got 2.1 yards per rushing attempt.
Is abysmal.
You cannot win like that.
Nope.
Not in that league in particular, and probably not many others.
Right. Unless, of course, you're in the air raid, which they're not. So that's the problem.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. When we come back, Braves, Major League Baseball, plenty to talk about. So we'll get to it in just a moment. Stick around here on Main Street Sports Today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well-rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. October 2nd, 1974, Hank Aaron hit a solo home run off Cincinnati's Raleigh Eastwick in the seventh inning of an eventual 13-0 victory. It was the legend's 3600th career hit and his final as a member of the Atlanta Braves in his final at bat, and was the 736th home run of his illustrious 21-year career. That was this day in Braves history. Going out with a bang.
It's starting to get tough for these days in Braves history.
Well, we'll be coming up with some postseason stuff here.
It'll be a lot
before long, I would imagine.
First, want to say, obviously hated to hear about Tim Wakefield. You go back to that 92 NLCS, and obviously glad he didn't win it, but boy, he was probably going to be the MVP of that series, and ended up, obviously the Braves win. So there's that. But had a heck of a series, had a heck of a career, won a World Series with the Red Sox, and
was kind of instrumental in R.A. Dickey's transition from a pitcher to a knuckleball pitcher. So, yeah, it's very unfortunate. I hate to see that. And there's a few Red Sox ties around here. Michael Coleman, who works with kids down in Nashville as an instructor, I guess, played for the Red Sox, was drafted by the Red Sox. There's a lot of folks around here with Red Sox ties, and so our thoughts go out to the Boston Red Sox community and obviously to Tim Wakefield's family.
Did you happen to see George Kirby from the Mariners
get hit with that ball?
No.
Oh, what?
He threw a knuckleball in the Mariners game.
Oh, wow. No, I missed that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. In the fourth inning, he tossed a knuckleball against the Rangers to pay homage. So pretty cool. Well done, George. No, who got hit by a ball? What
George Kirby, in his last start, somebody threw a ball from the stands, which I'd want to know who threw it and go try to find him. But
all the videos that I'm seeing are of him throwing the knuckleballs. Yeah. So that's unfortunate because I haven't seen it. But that was a heck of a knuckleball, dude. He got a swing and a miss on it, got a whiff. So well done there. I hate that. Let's see if I can. Maybe I need to put in hit and see if I can. Got hit by a ball. Oh. Yep. He's looking around like, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly.
That's unfortunate. Wow. That is wild. And now the manager's coming out. He's like, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? That is so crazy. It's just, his look on his face is just like, you got to be kidding me right now. That is.
I'm not sure kidding is the word. But
yeah. I've never seen anything like that before. Mm-hmm. Holy cow! Anyway, okay, yeah, that was great. That was worth looking up. Yeah. Oh man, what a weekend for the Braves. Let's just say Michael Tonkin doing his best job.
He tried to get them that record,
and he gave them every opportunity that he could get. And to be honest with you,
and it wasn't enough to put them in position to tie it. He tried to put them in position to break it by giving up 3 runs.
He was like, "Listen, we need 2 home runs.
We don't just need a solo home run.
We need a couple. Yeah. So let's make it happen." And then Marcell Ozuna did.
Well,
he tied the record.
He got it tied.
And so the Braves now at least hold the record.
They mentioned Ozuna hit 305, 306, and 307.
Yeah. Ozuna was the only guy swinging for the fences.
Well, Eddie Rosario was swinging for him.
He missing a lot though.
No, he missed by about that much.
Yep, he was just missing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first team in history to slug over 500 and had to have. So it was crazy because they had the 500 if they don't go to the bottom of the 9th. Well, once they got to the bottom of the 9th, they couldn't go 0 for 3. They had to get 2 total bases. Obviously, Ozuna's home run got them there. So they finished the year as the first team in history to ever slug over 500. That's insane. Had 3 players hit 40 homers. Ozuna got to 100 RBIs with his last home run. 7 players hit 30 or more, I think.
That sounds right.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. So well done to this Atlanta Braves offense. Now they've got to get to now they've just got to, continue it next week. Before we get out of here, the Mets and Giants both part ways with their managers. The Mets doing so allegedly via the old "you need to resign," wink, wink.
Well, they gave him the opportunity to resign, I guess, because none of the people who were on the Mets payroll at the time were necessarily in favor of him leaving, but they've hired a new president as of today. David Stern's coming in from Milwaukee, and apparently that was his desire that that be one of the first things that take place, that he gets to name his guy. And that gave Buck an opportunity to talk to his team and talk to the media and tell them what was going on rather than it happening after the season was over with, because I don't think Stern started until today. So, but yeah, Buck is out and
Gabe Kapler's out and might be in. Let me tell you, I don't want to see Gabe Kapler in the NL East again.
I don't know that that's the direction they go in, but
they've got to find somebody who can usher in these young guys who can. They need a. As weird as this is going to sound, they need a Brian Snicker. They need a guy who understands the developing players for the major leagues. And they're going to have to do it at the major league level.
Well,
they need a minor league manager.
Craig Counsell at Milwaukee, his contract is up whenever the Brewers are done. Stearns comes from Milwaukee. I don't know if that's a thing or not. According to an article yesterday in the New York Post, two guys' names came up that I personally am very concerned to hear. Ron Washington and Walt Weiss.
I can't imagine Ron Washington. Look, here's the problem with Wash at this point. How long are you going to have it? How long are we going to have it? I mean, at some point, he's going to go to the house, as he should. I mean,
I would like to think at this point that this will be Ron Washington's last job. You know, if he decides he wants to manage, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he wants to.
It's a lot of hassle.
Especially that team.
Especially going to that
in that market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I
Walt
don't know
Weiss,
how realistic
however,
that is.
kind of makes sense.
From what you were just saying about the youth on that roster in that organization, that they're going to be trying to shorten the learning curve with. He would probably do well there. So we'll see.
Not looking forward to it. Tomorrow, we won't know what's going on in that first game anyway, so we're going to hold off and make our playoff predictions tomorrow. But because, one, we have no Braves to talk about because, well, it's over. The season's over. So, but we'll probably do some speculating on the playoff roster, the pitching rotation, and much more. And right now, we're going to take a short break because Terry McCormick is standing by. We've got our daily Titans update. We'll react to their win as well. On the other side of the break, stick around. Main Street Sports Station, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint.
He shoots, and he scores!
Since 1975, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic has treated the orthopedic needs of Middle Tennessee residents. The trained physicians provide surgical options and minimally invasive options to treat all orthopedic needs. The walk-in clinic, OrthoQuick, helps you bypass the ER while treating sports injuries and acute needs Monday through Saturday. Visit MTBJ online at mtbj.net or on social media at Mid-Tennessee Bone Joint Clinic.
It's time now for the Daily Titans Update, powered by Zen Sports, from Titan Insiders Terry McCormick. Terry, what's up?
Guys, it is your Titan Insider Daily Report powered by Zen Sports, which is changing the betting game for the better. Some good news for the Titans. It sounds like Peter Skoronski might have a chance to return to practice this week. He's been out the last 3 games with that appendectomy, trying to recover from that. And it also sounds like they could get Kyle Phillips back off of injured reserve. He's probably going to start practicing this week as well. So, and that you add that to Nicholas Petit-Frere coming off the suspended list, and suddenly the Titans have options at different things in different places.
And things are kind of looking up for the Titans, who did cover.
Yes, they did.
By the way.
Oh yeah, they covered quite easily.
Good Lord. Terry. You know, Mina Kimes had an interesting tweet yesterday, and she said the one thing that she would do is not touch the Titans from a betting standpoint. I mean, does anybody know from week to week what this team is going to do?
I don't think anybody knows week to week what this team is going to do or what they're capable of. I mean, it's been a roller coaster. About the only thing that you can put your finger on is they played very well at home and very poorly on the road. We'll see if that trend continues Sunday in Indianapolis because, you know, to continue the betting analogy, the stakes are raised exponentially when you start playing in the division, and this is their first division game.
Look, the division is it's weird because it's a mess, but it's not a dumpster fire mess. We don't know what kind of mess it is. It's everybody's just kind of here right now. I mean, so when you look at the way that this schedule lines up going forward, it seems like it's pretty massive that the Titans are probably going to get two of their offensive linemen back depth-wise. Obviously, you know, skill-wise should be better. What do you feel like this week in practice is going to be about? Because obviously Anthony Richardson is a wild card.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, even though he's a rookie, they haven't faced a quarterback that, you know, plays with this style. Yes, you could maybe say Deshaun Watson does, but Watson really, truth be known, he would prefer to stand in the pocket and throw the football and not run around unless he has to, although he's pretty good at it at times. But Richardson is just big and athletic. He's certainly very unpolished as a passer, so you would think that the Titans would have an advantage there if they can put some heat on him and get him wrapped up. But therein lies the problem. They had trouble hanging on to Watson a couple of weeks ago, and he burned them with plays, you know, mainly throwing down the field, you know, for X plays. But Richardson, if he breaks contain, he's liable to take off and go 30 or 40 yards down the field and turn what should be a 6 or 7 yard loss into a huge explosive play.
There you go. Terry, tell us about Zen Sports.
What we'll do, guys. All right. Zen Sports, the new sports book in Tennessee, is changing the way you earn sports betting rewards. With Zen Sports, your rewards are cash rewards. You bet with real money, and now you're rewarded with it too. Earn a whopping 5% cash back welcome bonus for your first 15 days when you sign up with the code Main Street, MAINST. Keep betting and keep earning every month after that with up to 3% cash back rewards on your betting volume. Best of all, earn cash commission on your referral bets with Zen Sports Referral Rewards Program. Zen Sports, betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and in Tennessee to bet.
I'm serious right now. They have a dragon here. I saw it. But no, they don't. There's no such thing as dragons. I swear, I saw it. It had huge claws. Get out of here. It had eyes as big as the moon. Come on, I'll show you. Wait up. Do you hear that? We're almost there. Whoa! I told you so. That is a dragon.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee sports editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama. So the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao and Mo Patton here. And Mo, as we continue to talk a little bit about the Titans, I was not optimistic about Sunday.
How could you be?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was more concerned with, could the offensive line hold up than anything.
And I don't understand how the same group, it was the same group, right, could look so bad against Cleveland and look credible yesterday against, at Cincinnati, a defensive front that doesn't have Myles Garrett, but still, isn't bad. And that's all we've said all along on this show, is that all the Tennessee Titans needed from the offensive line was to be decent. Not great, just decent.
Yeah, I mean, they came into the game ranked in the top 10 in sacks in the league, and they looked decent. I don't know if there was scheme, and maybe it was, Tim Kelly showing off that, he certainly has the ability to scheme around that sort of thing. If you did, I certainly don't understand why you wouldn't have done it before. Yeah. But, maybe they just felt like Dillard wasn't that bad until it was painfully obvious that he was. I don't know. But Ryan Tannehill, I'll put it this way. Ryan Tannehill made some interesting throws yesterday. And I'm going to tell you that if Ryan Tannehill throws an interception inside the 10-yard line, that it's on purpose. Seriously. Because, and someone else pointed this out. I wish I could tell you who. But in certain situations, you give yourself a chance to get it to the 5-yard line. Or it's a punt. And with Ryan Stonehouse's inability to pin a team deep inside like Brett Kern did, obviously he's improving, but he's not consistently able to do it. I think if Ryan Tannehill throws a jump ball inside the 10-yard line and it ends up being an interception, it's on purpose. So I'm just throwing that out there. Y'all pay attention. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know.
No, that wouldn't be the first time.
But it certainly feels like it to me. That's not a throw that Ryan Tannehill makes very often, if that makes sense. It's not something that he just does. He might try to fit it into tight windows, but he didn't throw a whole lot of jump balls, deep into the defensive secondary. So I feel like this team is in a whatever it takes to win mentality.
As I think about yesterday, one of the craziest things is they didn't have Traylon Burks yesterday. And they still won by 3 touchdowns.
Nick Westbrook-Akina as a 2 is not bad. As a 3, he's very good. And it's almost like we've been saying that for how long now?
3 years.
I mean, people on Titans Twitter gave him business for a long time.
And it wasn't really deserved.
And it wasn't his at no point was NWI ever supposed to have been that.
You're asking him to be something he's not.
Yeah.
He's not a number 1 in the National Football League.
And
there's nothing wrong with that.
That's okay. Know your role.
It's the issue is when somebody tries to make him be a number 1, or when you look around the receiver room and he's the best guy in it. That's the issue.
That's the problem.
That's not his fault.
Right.
I didn't tell you not to go get anybody else. Certainly didn't tell you to trade A.J. Brown. So.
And didn't tell Julio and Traylon to get hurt.
Or didn't tell Julio or Robert Woods or whoever else.
Anyway.
Yeah, you know. So, I mean, as a number 3,
he's pretty darn good.
You're going to – he's in the top half of number 3s. And Chris Moore, I don't know what he did yesterday, but he is a guy who has been a little unheralded.
Well, he only had the one
receiver room.
He only had the one catch, which he ended up fumbling. But the fact that he's on the field is you have to account for him, and you feel like he deserves more attention than Nick Westbrook-Akina. Now that may change, but here's the thing: when Traylon Burks gets back, your receivers are DeAndre Hopkins, Traylon Burks, Nick Westbrook-Akina,
or Traylon Burks.
Yes, you 4th time the charm.
Traylon Burks, DeAndre, and Chris Moore.
See, I don't think so. I think Westbrook-Akina is a better receiver, especially in the 3, because you don't play on the outside. You play in the slot a little bit more. I don't think Moore's a slot guy.
Okay.
So to me, it feels like the depth at receiver, as long as DeAndre Hopkins is healthy, is disgusting. And capable of winning football games with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. And, oh, by the way, a duo in the backfield who is perfect for one another. Like I said, a team that feels like win at all costs, whatever it takes. Derrick Henry feels that way. Feels like he is comfortable giving way to Tajay Spears.
Well, and not necessarily giving way, because they were both in the game at the same time a lot yesterday.
Yep.
There was one particular play where they were lined up in the backfield, split up. Tanny faked the screen to
Spears.
To Derrick. No, he faked it to Derrick and then threw back to Spears around the right side. And, you know, anything that even looks like the ball may be going to Derrick Henry, you have to honor it as a defense. And you turn around and throw it back to the other side to Spears, who runs like.
That's not when he fumbled, was it?
I don't believe so.
Okay. No. I was thinking, because on one run he fumbled going left. Ball bounced back to him. He cuts back and goes around the.
No, that was a different run.
That was just a run. Okay, I couldn't remember it because I was in and out watching the game, and I come into the replay of Tajay Spears running around right in. I'm like, all right, that's great. And then I realized they showed it again, and I realized it was actually a play designed to go to the left.
Until he fumbled going to the left. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh.
And then he kind of had that, oh, shoot moment.
Yeah, and he took off, and I think it was a pretty big gain,
It
about
was.
30 yards.
Yeah.
And so, this, and I thought, as Justin said earlier, Christian Fulton played really well. Of course, again, easier for the defensive backfield to play well when your front seven is getting pressure, and they pressured Joe Burrow all day long.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great win. A solid team performance.
7 different guys caught balls for the Titans yesterday.
Which sounds great unless, you have certain receivers on your fantasy team. I don't, but someone probably does. I have Traylon Burks on my fantasy team. It's not working out real well right now. That's okay. That's okay. Other quarterback questions in the NFL, Mo.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. Should CJ Stroud have gone number 1 over Bryce Young? Or would it have mattered who was the quarterback? Carolina, Houston.
I feel like most all of us knew that quarterback was not the only issue for Carolina. So even if they had been reversed, I'm not sure that CJ Stroud would necessarily have been any more successful in Carolina than Bryce Young has been.
I feel like I think that's the case. I'm not sure.
Now,
I think
I'm not sure that Bryce Young would be as successful in Houston as CJ Stroud is.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I don't think CJ Stroud would have had any more success in Carolina than Bryce Young has.
I'm going to say this, and people are going to laugh at me when I say it. But I think Houston was in a much better position to win quickly. Certainly more than Carolina.
I don't disagree.
But I think Houston is in a pretty good position.
I don't disagree with
I
that.
think they were last year in a pretty good position. Davis Mills won some football games for them. If they'd had a competent quarterback last year, I think they would have probably won 6 or 7 games versus 2 or 3.
Well, and I'll say this. I also think Houston made a better coaching hire than Carolina did.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. I don't think there's any question at all there. I don't think that Carolina needed to make a coaching change from Matt Rule, but that's when they did. They hired.
They didn't need to make a coaching change necessarily from Matt Rule,
and then they hired a bad guy on the back.
Well, and they should have kept the interim guy.
Yeah, they should have kept the interim guy.
So,
yeah, they made a bad hire on the back.
So they probably shouldn't have fired Matt Rule. Was it Steve? I can't think of his last name, but he was the former Cardinals coach for 1 year before Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Speaking of bad firings, I think Wright is probably the worst of the 3.
Yeah, there's no question. And so now the Texans are sitting there. By the way, let me just pull this up so that I don't tell a lie.
Don't tell a lie.
Will Anderson, number 8 in the NFL for edge rushers in win rate. The guy that Pete Golding had dropping back into coverage all year last year.
Well,
and so
is that a horse that really needs to continue to be beaten?
Yes. Because Pete Golding's defense, and we'll get to it in a minute, gave up 40 gazillion points, and luckily their team they were playing decided to also not play defense. But, yeah, I mean, Will Anderson, great pick. CJ Stroud, great pick. If CJ Stroud had fallen to the Titans, I would have had no issue throwing him out there this year. And I was hoping when his test came out, and everybody was talking about that that test that he supposedly failed,
Mhm.
I thought he might drop. But the Texans were smart enough not to realize that
Not to fall for the
it,
okey doke.
don't fall for that.
Don't
So
fall for the okey doke.
unfortunately now, wouldn't it be something if in 2 or 3 years we look back and Trevor Lawrence is the worst quarterback in the AFC South? That'd be wild, wouldn't it? Because I think CJ Stroud, look, Anthony Richardson has his issues. But I think he's capable. I think he's got talent. Now whether or not
Anthony Richardson isn't the person that concerns me in that equation.
No, yeah, it's who is the Titans quarterback, and I don't know who that's going to be.
If we look back in however much time it is, and Trevor Lawrence is the worst quarterback in the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans quarterback at that time is not on their roster.
You're probably right. Continuing, Taylor Heineke. I don't know if did you watch the Toy Story?
No.
Okay. Let me tell you.
I saw some clips.
The Toy Story football game is genius. 2 reasons. As Columbia Academy offensive line coach Alan Moat said, they're slowly explaining the basics of football, like and how it works, to children and new Swifties who are watching. But I saw a guy who made a TikTok and videoed his kids watching the game. He said, I finally got my Sundays back because the kids can watch that and they're entertained by it. And also Booger was made for this. This is perfect for Booger because everybody kind of made fun of him, kind of like Madden with here's a guy who when he puts his glasses on he can see better. That kind of thing. Booger kind of has, but that is perfect for that.
Right.
And it works. So I thought it was interesting. I watched it and I watched a little bit of it. I ended up turning on the actual game eventually. But Taylor Heineke's got to be the quarterback in Atlanta. Desmond Ritter's terrible. Heineke was good in Washington. I don't know why you're not playing
Heineke's been good everywhere he's been.
Everywhere. I don't understand why the guy's not playing.
Well, Atlanta Falcons fans, because there's a huge overlap between Braves Twitter and Falcons Twitter. And so
yeah, we get a lot of
Falcons fans would agree with you.
Absolutely. And I think Arthur Smith is smart enough to know that. He's done it before.
But, he's
done it before.
It's tough when you have spent the draft capital, either the pick or whatever you traded to get the pick, on a quarterback. It's tough. It's tougher to turn away from a quarterback than it is any other position in the NFL.
Okay, but let's think about this. Doesn't it make more sense to put the veteran on the field and let him win football games while also teaching and training and letting your young guy learn a little bit, whether or not Ryan Tannehill's not my job to mentor, whatever. Whether or not he's mentoring, he's still learning. He's getting these reps in practice, doing, and yet you're also still winning football games because Taylor Heineke's a really good quarterback. He is probably the Neil O'Donnell / Bubby Brister of our day. I mean, everywhere he goes, he just wins football games.
Seems so.
So I'm putting him in if I'm Arthur Smith. And you mentioned earlier, JK, is Baker Mayfield good?
I don't know, man. I think so. Like I
think Baker Mayfield benefits from having some receivers.
I think he works hard. I
agree with that.
I was surprised that he, or not surprised, but I was pleasantly surprised that when he, got kind of the starting role for Cleveland stripped from him, he handled it kind of like Jalen Hurts did when Tua went in, just like put his head down, worked, and then proved his worth in the next couple teams. Now he's in Tampa.
Okay, but now let's just throw this out there. 62% completion rate against the Vikings, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Against the Bears, 76%, 317, touchdown, no picks. The Eagles, 60% completion rate, 146 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. The Saints, 78% completion percentage, 246, 3-1.
So what you're saying is he's doing his best stuff against bad teams.
Bad teams.
Okay, well, I mean,
it's the schedule that's in front of
you. I would dare say that that's a trend that you're going to see out of most quarterbacks. They're going to have more problems against good teams. I don't know if you can fault Baker.
I guess
I'm just saying, does that change the answer of is Baker Mayfield good or is he just simply serviceable?
I don't think he's elite. You know what I mean?
No, he's not elite.
They don't have to be. They don't have to be.
In the NFC South, they don't have. How is it that the NFC South and the AFC South are the 2 worst divisions in the National Football League?
That's a great question, Mo. We should do a deep dive into that because I just cannot tell you to save my life.
I mean, Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina, Tampa Bay, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Houston, and who am I forgetting? Jacksonville. They are.
We're fixing to find out because.
I mean, if there is. Are they not 25 through 32?
Oh, 100%.
It's funny. None of those are runaways either, like leading either division.
Tampa's 3-1, but I mean, you just heard their schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've got the Lions next.
Lions.
Then they get the Falcons. That's a win, probably, right?
Is it?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how you can predict anything in that division, though.
Then they got to go to Buffalo and to Houston. I think that's, and then they come here.
They won't be better than 2-2 after that stretch, over that stretch.
Then they come here. Then they go to San Francisco. Well, loss. Then they go to Indianapolis, but then they got the Panthers, Falcons, Packers, Jaguars, Saints, and Panthers. This team could win 10 ball games
against that schedule.
So, I mean, is Baker Mayfield good?
They could win 10 ball games and not be great.
It doesn't matter if Baker Mayfield's good. That's what I'm telling you. He's good enough, and that's what matters.
Right. He's like Blaine Gabbert going in for Mariota throwing 47 out passes,
Well, I mean, think about this, though. Like we just said, you're talking about a guy who's got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, whatever Trey Palmer gives you. But Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are really good options.
Who's the tight end?
Cade Otton.
Okay. What happened to your boy from Alabama? Where is he now?
O.J. Howard?
Yeah.
I think he's in Buffalo, isn't he?
Is he?
That's a good question. I don't know. He is currently with the Raiders.
Oh, God. That's bad.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him.
Who did the Steelers beat? They're 2-2. They're bad.
The Steelers?
Yeah, and Mike Tomlin's not happy about being bad either.
Speaking of quarterbacks, are they good? That's a no.
For Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
I haven't watched enough of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Steelers' schedule.
I think Kenny Pickett's probably been asked to do more than he's capable of at this point in his career.
The Steelers beat the Browns. That makes you feel any better.
Go figure, man.
And the Raiders.
And they lost to Houston and who?
San Francisco. 30-7 to San Francisco, 30-6 to Houston.
Well, I mean,
and they got the Ravens next. It's not looking good.
There's no shame in losing to the 49ers right
nope.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, beating the Browns is a pretty good win.
Right. So,
Of course, that was the game that Deshaun just looked like an idiot out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've talked about it on this show from time to time. I mean, this is what the NFL wants.
It's exactly what the NFL wants. This is their goal. Is for every week
for you to not
have a clue what's coming. And I don't.
Nope.
Yes, truly.
I'm kind of glad we picked college games instead of pro.
That's why we don't, because I just don't know. I mean, every program.
I feel a little bit more as badly
as we
are.
By the way, last week the anomaly back to 4-6. Went 4-6 again. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It's ridiculous.
We'll talk more about that Friday, but yes, the guy on this show that knows the least about sports had the best week last week.
Well, it's picking against the spread is the hardest thing to do. It really is.
Clearly.
And that's why people who are good at it make a lot of money doing it, and that's all they do. So let's take a break. College football reactions, SEC, the rest of the stuff that happened around the college football world, all of that coming your way in just a moment here on Main Street Sports Today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well-rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao and Mo Patton here. Let's talk a little bit about college football, and we'll start in the SEC, Mo. Ole Miss and LSU, as I said, decided not to play defense. And
yeah, that was the type game that if it had been Oklahoma State and Baylor, SEC fans would have looked down their noses at, And
that's exactly what they would have done.
Yeah. would have and have. So.
No question they have. And you're exactly right. So that being said, it was kind of fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Unless you were LSU.
Well, I mean, as an outsider, it was fun to watch because Ole Miss had to score 21 points in the fourth quarter to win it. They were down most of the time. So I had it on my small TV, just kind of keeping an eye on it because I was watching Alabama, Mississippi State for a little while until that became useless. But yeah, Ole Miss just never quite went away. Makes LSU 2-1 in the SEC, but it makes them 3-2 overall. LSU is out of the playoff discussion no matter what, right? Even if they win the SEC?
You would think.
With a
with 2 losses?
Florida State as the other one?
Yeah.
Even if Florida State's the number 1 seed?
Yeah, I don't see
everybody else in the country would have to have 2 losses as well.
Everybody.
Yeah, I think so. So Ole Miss kind of saved their season to a degree because here's the thing. If LSU was to beat Alabama, now you've got a 3-way tie if nobody else loses. And then what? I don't know how that works.
You say if LSU was to beat Alabama. And I know that a lot of your Alabama concerns are based around Jalen Milroe at quarterback, and I get it.
And their inability to snap the football. But that's correctable.
That probably is a good thing.
That's correctable. You think. Yes,
I was going to make a comment, but I'm not ready to make that comment at this point. So
Jalen
I was headed
Milroe
somewhere, and I'm going to stop.
Had the highest quarterback rating of any quarterback in the SEC this week.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Milroe still can't throw the football very well. But one
doesn't necessarily have to.
Listen, I'm just going to say this, and I hate to say this because I like Mississippi State, but they're terrible. They're terrible.
Not very good.
And so you could say what you want.
They're not very good.
To me, I'm not even looking at that game. That's to me, that's like beating Southern Miss at this point. And so, I mean, clearly Alabama's got 2 tough tests. Well, 1. And then Tennessee. I don't think Arkansas at home is as tough as it probably was. They've got to go to A&M, who, by the way, defeated Arkansas in the Southwest Classic. Max Johnson makes this team scary.
Is he an upgrade?
I think he is. I think Max Johnson's skill set makes him an upgrade for Bobby Petrino's offense. I think he reminds me of a lot of Bobby Petrino type quarterbacks. And
there's one guy in particular that I'm thinking about.
Kid from Arkansas?
Ryan Mallett.
Ron Mallett.
The late Ryan Mallett.
Despite being, he's not, obviously Max Johnson's not 6'7", but
yeah.
But he's just that type of quarterback. And if Texas A&M has found something,
look out.
And here's the thing: I think defensively, Texas A&M is very good. They're not going to give up the RPO run option. They're going to force Jalen Milroe to throw it on Saturday. And I'm just telling you that he's not going to be able to do it. So Texas A&M showed me something. They're 4-1 right now. That loss to Miami is a tough loss, but I don't think it's a do you in type of loss. I think everything they want's ahead of them.
No, it's not a do you in type of loss, but it certainly kind of puts you on notice, I think, or put you on high alert, maybe. And maybe that's what it did for A&M.
Here's what I'm telling you is A&M scares me a lot more today as a Tennessee fan coming in here in 2 weeks, even off of an off week, than they did after last week.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky, same thing. Now, Devin Leary's not good. But he doesn't have to be if Ray Davis is going to go for 300 every week. And I'm not sure. I don't think that Kentucky can win very many football games with Devin Leary going 9 for 19 for 69 yards. Because I don't think everybody's going to give up 280 yards to Ray Davis. But
so what you're saying is, if Ken Seals and Ray Davis were both at Kentucky,
right?
Or a little mashup, or if they were both at Vanderbilt,
as they were last year. I don't know if you saw Keaton Wade get absolutely laid out on Saturday by his own guy.
Oh Lord!
He
not.
There was a pass over the middle, and he and Dion, I can't think of his last name, but were sandwiching the receiver. And let's just say Keaton took the brunt of the sandwich.
little friendly fire, huh?
And he tweeted, he said, "I'm just glad he's on my team." So I don't have to get hit by him. But it was wild. But yeah, I mean, this defense is really good. They showed a lot. I was impressed by Kentucky. But I think that Tennessee has that same mental block on Kentucky that Florida has on Kentucky. And even though we've got to go to Kroger Field, I feel like Tennessee still has the ability to beat this Kentucky team.
I tell you what, that will be one of the great mysteries of this season if Tennessee loses at Florida, Kentucky beats Florida at Kroger Field, Tennessee beats Kentucky at Florida at Kroger Field. I mean,
well, especially if this weekend turns into a certain way, as Kentucky goes to Georgia for a 6 o'clock matchup between the hedges. I think that is the most intriguing game of this upcoming week, and we'll talk about it more throughout, because Georgia struggled, period. They struggled against Auburn. Mainly, they struggled stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what Georgia's problem is.
I don't know if it's just as simple as being young and inexperienced at the quarterback, or what exactly it is. That
Well, he was 23 of 33 for 313 yards. Now, again, 8 for 157 was Brock Bowers. He makes it a little bit easier for you. Ladd McConkey makes it, he's a guy.
Well, McConkey hasn't been there all year, though.
Right. Yeah, yesterday was his first game. He had 4 catches for 38 yards but he's a guy that you can count on third down when Bowers is double covered, triple covered. You can go to it. That being said, they don't run the ball very well,
which is unheard of.
It's a problem
for Georgia. Right.
And I think this was one of the weirder weeks in college football for the SEC.
Weirder than last week.
Well, here's why it's weird is that it kind of went exactly as you would think it was going to go, outside of Florida just getting drilled by Kentucky. I thought Kentucky was going to win because I don't think Florida's very good. A lot of people are making are pumping Florida up because of that win over Tennessee, and I can understand why. But if you don't understand the dynamic of that game, you will put too much emphasis on it. What happens in that game has to be taken in a vacuum. You have to, it is a singular thing that is not a part of the rest of the thing of college football. Just take it out. There are certain games that you can do that with. That's one of them. I think Texas-Oklahoma is one of them. And to me, that's just kind of, just pretend like that doesn't exist. Judge everything on everything else that happened.
I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but it's hard to pretend
can't
that
do
doesn't
that.
exist. But yeah,
I know that.
But I mean, again, you're not necessarily wrong. I mean, you almost have to take that out of the equation.
And it was a weird week anyway for everybody. I mean, Alabama nearly lost to South Florida. It was just a weird week. It was like Mercury was in Gatorade or something. Isn't that what it is? No? Anyway.
That's not what it is.
Something like that. But that's kind of where the SEC was weird because it kind of went the way you expected. Ole Miss LSU was a shootout, as it has been for a number of years at this point. Alabama destroyed Mississippi State when everybody thought Mississippi State had a chance. Tennessee whips. Tennessee whips South Carolina pretty good. A&M beats Arkansas, as everyone expected before the year. I mean, outside of Georgia only winning by 7, which we said on this show would happen. Did you pick? I think he picked Auburn too. Did we all pick Auburn?
Yes. No. I picked Georgia cover.
Wow. Yeah. Well, as I said on this show last week, weird things happen down there, and you just got again. That's Georgia Auburn is a game that you can take out and put into that vacuum.
Well, when it's at Jordan-Hare.
At Jordan-Hare.
Not at Sanford.
Not between the hedges. So anyway, that's just kind of where we're at with the SEC right now. It's an interesting dynamic that we find ourselves in. Next week is going to be even more unique. So, other questions around college football. We asked the question last week, what did we learn about Colorado? What did we learn about Colorado this week?
Again, I don't know that we learned. We certainly didn't learn anything that, if you were paying attention, you didn't already know against Oregon. And I think if you learned anything this week, you learned that they're going to continue to fight.
They have zero give up in them. Now, I think USC took their foot off the gas a little bit. I think USC
and they may very well have, but again, that's not Colorado's fault.
No, but here's what I'm saying. I think USC went into halftime thinking they just got their butts kicked last week. We're kicking their butts this week. Let's just let's get out of here healthy and go. And Shadur Sanders said, "Not so fast, my friend.
No. We're not done. We're not done.
We're not done." So what I think we learned about Colorado is, one, they have the ability to play with anybody in the country. It's just a matter of, I think they did a really good job at halftime, making some adjustments, which is the hallmark of a good coach. And I think Deion. I think Deion's a great motivator, and two, I think he's got great football coaches around him.
Well, I think he's put some good people around him, which some guys seem to struggle with, and you would have kind of expected Deion to be one of them.
Yeah, a guy who wants to be the smartest guy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. See, the more and more I watch these documentaries and these one-on-one interviews with Coach Prime, the more and more I feel like he knows what he doesn't know. And he plays up what he does know. And what he knows is we don't stop. I don't care what they're doing. We're going to do us. And here's what we've got to do to change it. Go to your position coaches, make adjustments, figure it out, get in the room. And they made a valiant effort, a valiant effort to get back in that one. And I was pretty impressed. Neil Brown has West Virginia rolling, Mo. West Virginia.
And who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
He was coming into the year. He was
the hottest of the hot seats. The hottest. And that loss to Penn State did not help to start the year.
And that's tough because I think Penn State is going to be better than
Penn State's going to win the Big Ten. That's what we think. I mean, we've said
and
that.
so I don't know why that would have necessarily put him on the hot seat.
Oh, he was on the hot seat way before that. That just didn't help. Here's the problem. Pitt 17-6, Texas Tech 20-13, and TCU 24-21. Those are, and Duquesne. Those are not scores that you feel real comfortable about. Here's the positive. At Houston, terrible. Playing awful. Oklahoma State at home, we've already seen what they're capable of who they're capable of losing to. At UCF, struggling without John Rice Plumlee. See if he's back by then. Then here's where it gets tough. BYU at home and at Oklahoma. But I don't see any reason why they can't win the next two of the next three ball games, Houston, Oklahoma State, UCF.
Well, I can tell you that at coacheshotseat.com, Neil Brown is not among the top 12.
There you go. So
let me interrupt you just a second. Billy Napier, 3. Tom Allen, who just fired his offensive coordinator, Dixon County graduate, Walt Bell at 4. Holgerson, 5. Brent Pride, Virginia Tech, 6. 7. Jimbo, 8. Butch Jones, 10.
Butch Jones is 10?
Trent Dilfer, 12.
Dilfer's not on the hot seat.
Well,
I assure you, Trent Dilfer's not on the hot seat. Did you see what happened on Saturday? Did you see the video? When I tell you Trent Dilfer was absolutely livid and had good reason to be.
He didn't grab anybody by the face mask, did
he? Justin, do we have time for you to pull it up? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get it.
You can get it. Okay. First and goal at the 1. They go tempo. Run it, won't get it. They go tempo again at the 1. Tempo is meant to do 2 things.
Here we go.
Catch the defense. All right, hold on. Catch the defense off guard and put them into base situations. It's the goal line. There's nothing but a base situation. And if your goal, and if you're going to run it up the middle with your quarterback anyway, take your time and do it right. No, they fumble going into the end zone, and Tulane gets it. Would have cut the lead to 3. Instead, Tulane gets it to the 20. They get a 3 and out. Sets up to punt. They got 12 men on the field. He goes ballistic. Let's see it.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 minutes.
Oh, no, that's just part of it. That's just the first part.
That 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
An unbelievable mistake by UAB's defense, and Trent Dilfer beside himself.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Trent had every right to be upset in that situation.
Trent had every right to be upset in that situation, but he can't be.
Why? Nick Saban did it on Saturday against Mississippi
now we
State.
comparing Nick Saban and Trent Dilfer?
I'm comparing the way that Nick Saban whipped a player's butt on the sideline. Literally whipped him. I don't care how good you are. If you either can act that way or you can't act that way. Period. Trent Dilfer had every right to be upset. It was a critical point of the game, and they gave them a first down with that penalty. Had an opportunity to get the ball back, go in and score. They were playing really well.
Here's my thing.
Hold on.
And we're close.
I know. Oh crap, we're over. We are. All right. Well, come back tomorrow. We'll finish that discussion on Main Street Sports Today. Sorry about that. We'll see you then.